the last quarter moon in Taurus at sunset. And so we're right in between eclipses. We're about to go into the third and final one next weekend. So we're in what's called we're going into the dark moon kind of banishing phase right now as the moon is in Taurus. So it's a really good time now to get grounded and to look at where you want to get back to basics, really, and get back down to earth. So you may feel yourself slowing down. Mars is still retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. Mercury is still retrograde. August is still going to be a time of really, slowing down and recalibrating. It's a really important time to recalibrate and find a new pace in the way we use our Mars energy and the way we strategize. But the sun's in Leo, and this next eclipse is going to be a new moon solar eclipse in Leo. So the moon is going to be between the sun and the earth, blocking out the sun. So it may feel like we're in a little bit, again, eclipses always make us feel like we're in the dark, so to speak. So you might be noticing that your energy is a little bit lower, as it probably has been for most of the eclipse season. And you may also be feeling like you need more rest. You want to just kind of check out and, research, relax, review, and not push things forward so much. It's hard to push new things forward right now. But as we get closer to this new moon solar eclipse in Leo, I'm calling it the recreation eclipse. And in fact, you can still join me for the next 7-day, call it Project 7, online journey that I'm doing with Caitlin Foisey. And we just did part 1 and part 2, and now part 3 we're devoting to this new moon solar eclipse in Leo, and we're calling it recreation because we're going to be working a lot with the Leo energy of creativity, self-expression, self-confidence, self-love, and really stepping into our open heart, our open-heartedness, and that childlike innocence that is so connected to Leo. So it's a really powerful time to come into self with a capital S, and also whatever it is that you came here, like what you love to do, where you shine. And we'll be really noticing at this eclipse where we feel eclipsed in that area. In other words, where you feel like you're not adored, you're not able to shine, you're not appreciated for your gifts, or you're not able to allow your gifts to really shine in the world. And so it's a really important period now to get in touch with how you want to shine in the world and where you want to direct your creative energies and gifts, and how you might be inhibiting your own self-expression. So the challenge and the blessing and the gift right now is to step into your creativity and your self-expression on another level, and to not let fear inhibit you, and to not actually need others to give you permission to shine. Leo is, it's a sign of royalty. It's a sign of courage, confidence, and ultimately deep self-love. So it's the sun doesn't need permission to shine. The sun just shines. And we're all being asked to step into that during this Leo eclipse. And it's also a time to ask where you really want to shine in your life. And are you moving in that direction, or are you still kind of hiding back in the shadows? And if so, what do you need to do to really step into your true power, your true radiance? And you can look to your sun sign for that, but you could also look to your north node. The north node transiting right now, or Rahu, is in Leo, in the tropical zodiac. So there's this very strong Leo emphasis right now. The sun's in Leo. We're going to have the new moon in Leo, and we're finishing up this, north node transit in Leo, which has been pushing and directing all of us to really step into our creativity and self-expression, and looking at where we want to shine. So you don't want to be a shrinking violet during this time, and you don't want to come up with excuses of why you're going to put off what you really love to do, or why you can't do it, or why it doesn't work for you. This is the time to really honor it and embrace it and move toward it, like with your wholeheartedness, really. It's a good time to actually work on the heart, what's going on in the heart, and listening to your heart, and giving the voice to what your heart really desires, instead of, we have a tendency since we're little, unfortunately, like when we're little kids, we're really in touch with that, but then, disappointments, experiences kind of squash the heart, and we stop paying attention, or we start to make excuses or negotiate with the heart in a way that's not honoring really what the heart is telling us. So this is the time to really listen. If you think of the Strength card, one of my favorite cards in the tarot, the 8th major arcana of the tarot deck, it's a woman taming a lion, and it's all about listening. She's listening to that wild, the way she's taming the beast is through a deep level of compassion and a listening practice, really, where she's able to tune in and listen to that wild heart instead of suppressing it. So I think we all need to kind of tune into that like inner animal in us right now that we might suppress or we might not allow to be as wild as we want to be, and to see where we've squashed it or where we've repressed that energy, and how we can, with compassion, start to tame it and bring it out in a way that it supports us rather than ravages something in our life or becomes destructive or an addiction. One thing that's really powerful about this new moon solar eclipse is it's forming a yod, what's called a yod, or finger of God, and it's forming a yod with Neptune and Pluto. And Neptune's in Pisces and Pluto's in Capricorn, so we're being directed to the Leo area of our horoscope, but we've got this strong push from look to where Pisces or Neptune and Pisces is transiting in your chart right now, and then look to where Pluto and Capricorn is, and those are the energies pushing you toward Leo right now. So you could also think of the archetypes of the hangman for Neptune in Pisces, and then for the Pluto and Capricorn, it's the devil energy. So we're dealing with both psychological shadow issues that, wherever we have fear or bondage, we feel enslaved to something, we're having to use that. We're needing to make that energy conscious, and so that it's no longer holding us back from doing what we love. And then we also have to look at where we're still in suspense, where we're still waiting. Like a lot of us have a hard time being in that limbo period or waiting or not knowing what's coming next. And this eclipse is teaching us to, part of trusting in your path is, it doesn't always show up when you want it, how you want it, and where you want it, and at the time you want it to show up. And you have to be patient and wait for divine timing. That's really the lesson of the hangman, like wait in suspense until the timing is right, but to have faith even in that waiting period, And in some ways, life is it's a bit of a waiting period. We're always kind of in suspense in some ways, if you think about it, because we always have this tendency to be like waiting for the next thing. Whatever it is, we're always like, well, then what's next? We never really know what's next. So this eclipse, I think, is really going to magnify where we need to learn to surrender more to our higher selves and wait for the answer, wait for the next omen or guidance or, message to show up. And then the Pluto and Capricorn's an ongoing work with shadow. Saturn's also in Capricorn. So we're still in that deep devil archetype of looking at our shadow and what has power over us and where we feel in bondage to fear and where we're living from fear instead of love. So this is a really important time to choose love over fear, because Leo is the sign of love. And that's the directive right now, going toward the Leo. So wherever the sun is in your horoscope, sign, house, you want to shine in that arena. And wherever Leo is in your chart is also where you really want to shine. So those are the two areas that are being highlighted right now with this eclipse. And the eclipse is happening this Saturday, 18 degrees Leo. So look to where you have any fixed signs around 18. Those are also getting activated at this eclipse. And it's interesting, I'm creating this video right as the sun is setting in San Francisco. I don't know if you can see it. It looks kind of like a white out there. Can you kind of see? There we go. It's like a beautiful sunset happening. And that's kind of the energy we're in. It's a little bit of a sunset energy right now. Things are ending, some things are beginning, and the sun is kind of coming down on certain things in our life, and but it's preparing for the next chapter, the next phase, and we have to be patient and see how we can step more into love and more into how we want to really radiate our creativity and our talents into this world. So I hope you'll join me, actually, if you haven't already, for the next 7 days with Caitlin. We're going to be doing a lot of online rituals. It's a really powerful group that forms of women from all over the world, and we support each other, and we're in it every day, basically. So it's through emails, and you get guidance, you get directed tarot card spreads every day, journaling questions that are coming from my background as a psychoanalyst, as a Jungian psychoanalyst. So I invoke the archetypes, and I give you deep journaling questions to work with in conjunction with the tarot spreads that I create. And then Caitlin is the master at rituals, so she creates rituals for you to do every day to help you really integrate the energies of this eclipse. So it's a really powerful 7 days, and we go through these 7 categories. You can read more about it on my website, which I'll have the link below here. And really hope you'll join us. And we start Wednesday, 8/8/18, which is this very powerful portal. It's the strength portal. It's the Leo portal. 8 is a very powerful number, the number of infinity and the number of strength. So I think this is going to be the most powerful of the 3 eclipses in many ways. And it's a chance for all of us to recreate our lives, recreate ourselves, and to really shine. So anyway, I hope you'll join me and Caitlin, and thanks for watching.